You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
Ready? Play.
I noticed you mentioned the nerves in Spanish. Is it easier for you to play in Stuttgart, for example, than it is here?
Yes.
And I do want to have a word as well about Coco. What's the plan? So just tell us about the nerves here and how you can't play your best here, and then let us know what the plan is for Saturday.
Yeah, it's much easier to play anywhere else than here, but it's something that I already try to be prepared. Well, maybe I didn't play my best the last year, but one of the years I played really well here, and I could adapt myself and my game and everything. I hope this year can be the same. But yeah, it's always a challenge to play here in Madrid. And against Coco, we played a few times. Big server, aggressive, very good backhand, one of the best backhands in the world. She's very physical, but I think it's a very tactical match. She plays good on clay. She did French Open final last year. But I like this kind of matches. I know it's a challenge, and I'm really looking forward to play against her as well with my home crowd.
Just one. Okay, I got.
Your follow-up? Go ahead.
Yes, a follow-up. Just what's the tactic then? So you said tactical. What could be the tactic?
Well, I'm not gonna say it because maybe she's gonna see this and it doesn't make sense. But try to be aggressive, try to play my game, and let's keep the rest for me. And I will tell you Saturday after the match.
Paula, just for English nerds like me, can you just talk through the match today, just in terms of how you saw that match, and especially towards the end, what it took from you to be able to get the win?
It was a roller coaster match, to be honest. I started very well. I think it was under control in the second set as well. I got very nervous in 1 second. I wasn't feeling very well. It was very hot as well. The match changed in 5 minutes. And then the third set, I think she played very well. She was serving well. It's complicated, the conditions here, because I feel the ball flies very fast. I started to cramp a little bit as well. But as I said, I just fight until the last moment. That's always my identity, and I'm happy that I could get that win.
And then just looking ahead to Coco, will it help at all? I know playing in Madrid is a different challenge, but going in as the underdog, as the player who is the lower ranked player, a lot of times, especially the last few times you stepped on court, you've been the higher ranked player. Will that ease a little bit of it, you think?
Maybe, I don't know, it depends as well. This kind of matches, my opinion is always, depends of the day of that player, because it's already very high level matches. I hope she doesn't serve that well. I hope I serve very well. It depends. It's small details, this kind of matches. So, let's see how it goes. Let's see how I face it as well, playing at home, and if I can control as well the nerves and everything. And it's going to be a challenge.
Okay, thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.
Good luck. Manhattan forever, mega.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Ready? Play.
I noticed you mentioned the nerves in Spanish. Is it easier for you to play in Stuttgart, for example, than it is here?
Yes.
And I do want to have a word as well about Coco. What's the plan? So just tell us about the nerves here and how you can't play your best here, and then let us know what the plan is for Saturday.
Yeah, it's much easier to play anywhere else than here, but it's something that I already tried to be prepared. Maybe I didn't play my best the last year, but one of the years I played really well here, and I could adapt myself and my game and everything. I hope this year can be the same. It's always a challenge to play here in Madrid. And against Coco, we played a few times. Big server, aggressive, very good backhand, one of the best backhands in the world. She's very physical, but I think it's a very tactical match. She plays good on clay. She did French Open final last year. But I like this kind of matches. I know it's a challenge, and I'm really looking forward to play against her as well with my home crowd.
Just one. Okay, I got.
Your follow-up? Go ahead.
Yes, a follow-up. Just what's the tactic then? So you said tactical. What could be the tactic?
Well, I'm not gonna say it because maybe she's gonna see this and it doesn't make sense. but try to be aggressive, try to play my game, and let's keep the rest for me. And I will tell you Saturday after the match.
Paula, just for English nerds like me, can you just talk through the match today, just in terms of how you saw that match, and especially towards the end, what it took from you to be able to get the win?
It was a roller coaster match, to be honest. I started very well. I think it was under control in the second set as well. I got very nervous in 1 second. I wasn't feeling very well. It was very hot as well. The match changed in 5 minutes. And then the third set, I think she played very well. She was serving well. It's complicated, the conditions here, because I feel the ball flies very fast. I started to cramp a little bit as well. But as I said, I just fight until the last moment. That's always my identity, and I'm happy that I could get that win.
And then just looking ahead to Coco, will it help at all? I know playing in Madrid is a different challenge, but going in as the underdog, as the player who is the lower ranked player, a lot of times, especially the last few times you stepped on court, you've been the higher ranked player. Will that ease a little bit of it, you think?
Maybe, I don't know, it depends as well. This kind of matches, my opinion is always, depends of the day of that player, because it's already very high level matches. I hope she doesn't serve that well. I hope I serve very well. It depends. It's small details, this kind of matches. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how I face it as well, playing at home, and if I can control as well the nerves and everything. And it's going to be a challenge.
Okay, thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.
Good luck. Manhattan forever. Venga.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface, but I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
Ready? Play.
Well, hello. Welcome to Talking Tennis. It's a Saturday afternoon, and we are happily enjoying the Madrid Open, the expanded Madrid Open. And I'm very excited to be coming to you today, this afternoon, live to cover probably, I would say, the clash of the day. Coco Gauff against Paula Badosa. Gauff, current world number 6. Paula Badosa, career high number 2, currently still kind of top 30. Both of them are on my WTA power ranking ahead of Roland Garros. That's a separate video on the channel. Check it out. Or if you want to know my list, maybe I'll go through it later. But yeah, they're both looking very good on clay right now. We're very, very excited to see that get underway. They haven't come out. The players are not on court yet. We'll be watching some other matches before that all gets underway. And I will be joined by Myles David for this match. But to start with, I thought it'd be nice if I come on, talk with you guys for a bit. So, live chat. Let me know what your thoughts. Max, I don't know what you've said previously, but what are you going for Gauff to win? Interesting choice. I was worried Badosa might be injured. It might be a little bit injured. So that would give Gauff the edge. But if Badosa is not injured, I think Badosa has the edge. So really depends on, I think it's going to depend on Badosa's body because she seems to be warming back up into the form that we expect from her. I'm going to do a little bit of commentary, though, on a match that's going on a different stadium right now. So Gauff versus Badosa is taking place in the main Manolo Santana Stadium. In the Arantxa Sanchez Vicario Stadium, we're into a deciding tiebreak between Felix Auger-Aliassime and Dusan Lajovic, who won the tournament in Bosnia last week, beating Novak Djokovic and Andrei Rublev to win the title. And it looks like he's about to continue his winning streak on clay. Dusan Lajovic, former Monte Carlo Masters finalist in 2019. Very experienced player, very comfortable on clay. Felix Auger-Aliassime, we thought might be getting more comfortable on clay, but his start to the year has been very patchy. And Lajovic is currently leading this deciding tiebreak 5-0. Lajovic won the first set 6-2. Auger-Aliassime came back, won the second set 6-3. It is now 5-0 in the tiebreak in the third set, and it's the second serve for Auger-Aliassime. That's not going to please him at all. But yeah, while we're waiting to see how that goes, let me know. I really want to know, who do you think is going to win, Badosa or Gauff? That would be really great to chat with you guys and let me know who you think might win this one. Brian's watching Felix match. Yeah, it's not going well. Auger-Aliassime has won that last point, so he's not going to be he's not going to be bageled in a tiebreak. I mean, that's usually probably more painful than getting bageled in a set, maybe, because a tiebreak's a lot closer as a general rule. Brian, never trust Badosa for some reason I do. You know what, Brian? Actually, I feel similarly. Badosa, in sort of the last 12 months, has not been the most consistent, most reliable. But yeah, I just have a good feeling about her. She pushed Sabalenka in Stuttgart, and she's been pushing her way up the rankings. Ghost, Felix Auger-Aliassime is the Canadian Dimitrov. Yeah, I can see why you mean, flashy player, very much hyped as a young talent and not really delivering anything in terms of big titles. But then Dimitrov got a 1,000 title. He's been a multiple Grand Slam semi-finalist and he won the ATP finals. That's a decent career high of number 3. I think if Felix matches that, yeah, he won't be an all-time great, but he will be fine. And of course, he has been injured. Good point, Brian. Lajovic is now 4 match points at 6-2, the first of which will be on his serve. And we'll go back to previewing Badosa versus Gauff in a minute. Let's see how this match point turns out. Lajovic serves, goes way wide, tries to go out the middle, but that ball was nowhere near the service box. Probably a little bit of nerves there. So second serve, Felix attacks on the forehand, is really far behind the baseline, is trying to come in. Lajovic loops the backhand, kind of short. Now he goes up the line. Felix seems to be moving Lajovic around. That's a big forehand from Lajovic. It just goes wide, and it's 6-3. And Auger Aliassime saves the first match point, and the next two will be on his serve. Felix standing quite a bit behind the baseline for that one. For those tuning in and wondering why is he talking about Felix Auger Aliassime, I'm here to talk about the WTA match, Gauff and Badosa. The players are not on court yet, so we're going to watch this until they are, and then if they're still not out, I will go over and watch the new teen sensation Mira Andreeva taking on Magdalena. Brian has a lot more faith in Felix to achieve more than Grigor Dimitrov. I think there's a good chance of that. I think he's always going to be a factor at a lot of tournaments going forward. I don't think he has any bad matchups with the new generation. It's just he's not always red hot at every event, and that's fine. Good serve from Felix and Lajovic goes wide with the backhand. It's now 6-4. So Auger Aliassime now has another serve. Tony Nadal still in his box. So that should be an interesting one. It's good to see that's still apparently working for Felix. Last year he did pretty well on clay and obviously pushed Nadal at Roland Garros. So it'll be interesting to see as he comes off injury. We'll see what he can produce. Misses that first serve though, so he was trying to come in behind it as well, which is an interesting move. Looks like the players are now out on court for Gauff versus Badosa, so we will be going over to that pretty shortly. Good return up the line from Felix Auger Aliassime. Lajovic scrabbles the backhand back into play. Felix has continued to tackle the forehand. Lajovic has continued to scramble the backhand back, and Felix hits it with another forehand winner up the line. 6-5, and Lajovic now has another match point. I'm seeing comments coming in about the Gauff match. I will definitely focus on those as and when I get a moment, and I'll probably bring sort of maybe some results from today as well, just to kind of fill you all in, and we'll just keep chatting about how this Gauff Badosa match is going to go. Right, 6th match point for Dusan Lajovic. So he's obviously clearly had match points before this tiebreak, and Felix has saved them. He's got a second serve. The first serve comes bouncing off the top of the net and out. Second serve in the box. Felix attacks the backhand. Forehand back towards Felix from Lajovic. They're kind of trading blows. Lajovic changes direction. Felix loops up the backhand. Forehand Lajovic. Felix can't get that one, and it's Lajovic takes that tiebreak 7-5. Felix had a bit of a fight back, but the Serb is the experienced Serb who makes it through to the next round. So there you go. That's your latest breaking news that Felix Auger Aliassime is now currently out of the Madrid Open. Now let's turn to Gauff versus Badosa. So what's the thoughts we've had so far on the chat? Mostly coming from Ghost and Brian. Brian's already talked about how he thinks about Badosa. Also thinks that she's going to pick on Gauff's forehand, which I agree is the best tactic for Coco Gauff to deal with Coco Gauff. And actually, Paula Badosa has literally just broken to take the opening game. So I'm clearly my alert's a little bit behind. So I'm sorry I missed the beginning of the match. But Badosa is already a break up on Coco Gauff. That's interesting. Brian's got a cool story about Coco training at home courts, place that you trained as a junior. Oh, that's cool. I bet you've got some great stories from being a junior player, Brian. That would be great to share. Yeah, Badosa took out in San Jose. That's obviously on hard. Coco's a lot more comfortable on clay, but so is Badosa. Ghost, just because you're from North America does not mean you have to support Team World. You can support Team Europe. And I'm saying that as a European. But seriously, I think if a player like I think, usually I root for Francis Tiafoe or Felix in any match, even in a Labour Cup match. Although I only really paid attention to Labour Cup last year because of the Federer retirement. I probably won't be watching it this year. Prediction from Brian: Badosa wins 3 and 4. Yeah. How would she win 6-3? She might need to break Gauff twice in this set to do that, but it's doable. They're getting into a rally now. As Gauff finishes at the net with a backhand, and Badosa wrong-footed. So yeah, good quality competitive rally at this point for 15-all in game 2. Let's keep an eye on what's going on, and I will bring you some other results and breaking news from across the grounds of across Madrid. Also, we have a reporter on the ground. Mr. John Silk is in Madrid. He is watching the match live now, and he will probably be sending us his thoughts. If you're wondering, is Nick going to be commentating on this on his own? We're also going to have Miles David on, which I'll be very grateful for because Miles is fantastic to talk tennis with. Does Coco Gauff double fault that much anymore? Or still? I don't know. I haven't seen it being that bad recently, but it's been a while since I watched a Coco Gauff match as Gauff loops the forehand up the line and Badosa puts a backhand limply into the net, and it's 15-30 on the Badosa serve. May not be that simple for Paula Badosa. Great opportunity for her. Yeah, fair. She probably does double quite a bit. I mean, look, let's face it. It's not quite a chronic problem as Sabalenka had. And if Sabalenka can fix it at age 24, lots of hope for Gauff at age 19. As Badosa goes up the line, forehand looped up by Gauff. Badosa again puts the backhand into the net. Can't deal with the height that Gauff's putting on that ball. And it's 15-40. So Gauff could immediately break straight back and it's going to be 1-all. So if Brian's theory that Gauff's going to get broken a few times is going to happen, this might be a break fest of a set, which could be entertaining. I think that could be a fun one. Well, we'll see how it goes. Right, Badosa serves out wide. Gauff scrambles it back into play. Oh, but the serve was out. So never mind. You'll have to ignore me there. Don't ignore me too much because otherwise there's no point in you watching the stream. Good serve from Badosa. Saves the first break point, 30-40. Might get a score. Make sure we've got a score up and ready for this match. So bear with me whilst we sort that out. But yeah, Badosa is serving currently. Yeah, so there you go. That's your score, people. I'm not going to be able. We don't really have a live scoring ability at the minute, but should be enough to kind of give you a track of where we are at the game. Another rally to try. Oh, Badosa goes inside out on the forehand, loops it out into the tram lines. Gauff immediately breaks back, and yeah, no one's actually managed to hold serve yet in this match. So this could be entertaining. Very, very entertaining. So yeah, right. Gauff is now serving at 1-all. Lynette is outclassed. Are you watching that match? Because I'm genuinely I'm going to cover this because obviously that's what we're all here to watch and it's the match of the day. But yeah, Mira Andreeva beating Fernandez, Haddad Maia, and is, according to Brian, outclassing Lynette. Grand Slam semi-finalist on a winning streak so far. Are you dual screening it, Brian? Because, yeah, I'd be tempted to do that. I don't think my internet would cope very well with me trying to stream 2 matches at the same time, but I could give it a go. I'd have to disappear off the stream to set it up, though. Unreturnable serve from Coco Gauff to make it 15-all in this next game. Brian plugging Tennis Channel Plus. Yeah, I can do the same thing on Amazon Prime in the UK. So that's all pretty good. Nice to see so many of you here today. Keep talking tennis. Let's see what else we've got going on. As Gauff puts a backhand. Was that a backhand or a forehand? Anyway, it's over the baseline and it's 15-30. Yeah, this is already looking like a very, very competitive match. I don't know what any of you made of Gauff's interview with John earlier, but that could be that was quite an interesting one, I thought. Oh, thanks, Ghost. Yeah, I think we are too. We've got to keep spreading the word about us. Those of you who are watching, like, subscribe, share, tell all about us. I think one of the things I most like about this is being able to bring people updates on matches they can't watch. Oh, good fun rally as Badosa scoops up a bit of a cat and mouse at the baseline. Gauff tries to hit an overhead and no, completely misses it. So it's 15-40. I'm chatting with you guys, but that was a really fun rally there. Gauff tried to drop shot. Badosa came in, looped it up. Gauff tried to sort of lob Badosa on the backhand. Badosa caught it, loops it back up for Gauff to take out on the overhead. And Gauff just puts the overhead into the tram line. So yeah, break point chances for Paula Badosa. Yeah, I can imagine if you're in America, the schedule right now is going to be really difficult. But it comes around to you guys at some point. And the US season's always a bit of fun. Right, Gauff saves the first break point. It's now 30-40. Very competitive match. I think this is already living up to the billing that it deserves. So it should be good fun. As Gauff misses the first serve, second serve, bouncing the ball, ready to go. What's Paula Badosa got? And puts the ball into play, backhand inside out, Badosa into play. They're kind of running a little bit on the clay. Badosa puts it short. Gauff puts it kind of middle court on her backhand. They're running backhand to backhand at the minute. Gauff trying to go inside out on the forehand, looping it up. But Badosa starts to take it up with the forehand because clearly she's been struggling with the backhand with the height there. Not really attacking it. It's kind of very short. Badosa runs for the backhand. Gauff tries to set it up, goes back behind Badosa, who kind of chops it back into the middle and back into court. But Gauff's moving Badosa around now. What's Gauff got to do? Goes back behind with the forehand. Winner, deuce. What a way to save a break point. Really scrapped at that one. There wasn't a lot of, didn't look like obviously more pace than you and I could put on the ball. But Gauff just slowly working the court to get an advantageous position to go back behind Badosa. Really smart play from Gauff, and like her primal fighting spirit coming to the fore, and that's what's got her into the top 10 at age 19. Here we go. First serve into the net from Gauff. First serve needs to be a little bit better today. Let's see how this goes, though. Let us know what you think of this match so far, by the way. But that's a forehand return into the net from Badosa, right into the top of the net, off the second serve. Yeah, not ideal, really. That was a makeable return, and it ended up in the net. So really, really not ideal for Paula Badosa. Gauff now has game point to be the first person to hold serve in this match and make it 2-1 to her. Gauff goes up the middle, ace, job done, and it's game to the American, and the two will swap sides. So let's update that score. We're going to have a change of ends. It's 2-1 to Gauff with Badosa serving when they come back onto court. And I will bring you some updates for what else is happening and has happened today. I'll put this testimonial up from Ghost. Yeah, we're definitely not afraid to talk about anything. Maybe to stay cool, we need to stay underrated. Yeah, actually, probably. It's not cool to be mainstream, guys. We'll plug away at being that plucky YouTube channel that could. Right, bringing you some updates from what has happened so far today. Literally, Zapata Morales has just defeated Dan Evans. So let's start with the WTA, because we're obviously covering the WTA matches. Irina Camelia Begu beat Shelby Rogers in straight sets. Elise Mertens also beat Julia Niemeyer in straight sets. Aryna Sabalenka had a bit of a battle with Maria Osorio. Really close, 6-4, 7-5. What was not close was Samsonova beating Ostapenko 6-2, 6-love. And in the other WTA match that's currently taking place, 15-year-old Mira Andreeva Won the first set 6-3 against Magda Linette. She's yet to drop a set this tournament. She might drop the second set now, I've said that, but she's beaten Leylah Fernandez, the former US Open finalist, and she's beaten Beatrice Haddad-Maia, the number 13 seed, and she's set up on the number 17 seed. This girl is special. It is reminding me a lot of Coco Gauff at Wimbledon in 2019. It's not as high profile as Wimbledon, but if you're a tennis fan, it's very similar. And actually, Andreeva is demonstrating similar skills to Gauff, a fighting spirit, amazing backhand, and also a slightly loopy forehand, which is interesting. So we'll have to see how Andreeva's game develops. I'm not expecting her to be like a top player straight away. It's going to take her a few years, like it did with Gauff, like it did with, and like it's doing with Linda and Brenda Kvitova. Other players like Bencic getting big time at 17, probably a consistent top player now. Let's not rush this one. Badosa's 15 love up. We're already back on court. Like this video if you're enjoying it. For those who want an ATP update, as we're into another point, we're going to do a bit of a rally. They're kind of running up the middle of the court at the minute, forehand to forehand. Badosa tries to go to the forehand corner of Gauff, who kind of loops the forehand, but it goes wide, and it's 30 love to Badosa. So it looks like the Spaniard is on her way to hold to her first hold of the match. ATP scores. Very late finish last night. Alexander Zverev beat Roberto Carballes Baena, almost losing that match, but eventually coming through 6-7, 7-5, 6 love. Gauff backhand winner for 30-15. That was very good. Right into the Badosa forehand corner. The Spaniard was scrambling to get it. Too good from the American. Very, very good. Everything. And something is happening. I don't know what is going on. But I will just sort that out. Anyway, not sure what that was. Apologies for that. It's 30-15 to Paula Badosa, who aces Coco Gauff for 40-15. Really strong start for the Spaniard. Really strong start for the Spaniard. Can she hold it? We'll see what happens next, and then if she does well, then we're gonna I will bring you a update on the other matches as Badosa serves into the net. Give you a bit of an ATP update because we're fans of all tennis here. Backhand up the line from Gauff. Forehand Badosa up the middle. Gauff is trying to control the point. Puts Badosa out wide, and Badosa's trying to scramble it. Can't get it back. And it's 40-30. Gauff controlling that point really, really well. So that could be interesting. Very, very interesting to see what happens next in this point. We're 16 minutes into the match, and we are currently in the fourth game. Paula Badosa serves up the middle because wide. So second serve, pressure on the Spaniard to try and close this game out. Gauff putting pressure on the Spaniard. Backhand into play, loops it up. Badosa loops up, really short. Gauff comes into the net. Gauff is defending the net really well. Badosa goes for the lob, backhand. Gauff scrambles it, and Badosa cannot do anything with it. She almost got to it, but she couldn't really stop herself to kind of hit the shot. And it's deuce. Well, this is impressive. This is very, very impressive from Coco Gauff. She's handling the situation after going down an early break very, very well. Yeah, Badosa's quite a bigger hitter than you think. I remember that Indian Wells final she had with Azarenka in 21, and that was a barnstorming match. And Azarenka really hits the ball too when she's on. Obviously, remember her well from her younger days. As Badosa puts a backhand into the net, and it's advantage to Coco Gauff. Hi, Jack. By the way, really nice to have you. Keep chatting with us. Like the video if you're enjoying it. But keep chatting it. Tell us what you think about what's going on. It is advantage to Coco Gauff. to potentially go from a breakdown to a break up. Such is the momentum swings that are going on in this match. Out wide, Badosa. Backhand in play from Gauff. Backhand on the attack from Badosa. Gauff manages to get her backhand into play. Forehand Badosa. Forehand Gauff tries to go inside out, but it goes wide into the tram lines, and that is the first break point saved. Deuce. Badosa hanging on. Keep promising you an ATP update. Don't think it's worth doing that right now, not until the end of this game, and I'll just rattle through what we've had so far. On the other match, Andreeva's already a break up on Lynette in the second set. She's 6-3, 1 love up. What is going on? Badosa serves up the middle. Great shot. Absolutely great shot. And advantage. Advantage to Badosa with an ace. Taking back control of the game, potentially. And big serve into the net. That's not going to help. That's not going to help. So Badosa's going to serve into the middle of the box. Gauff gets the backhand into play. They're going backhand to backhand right now, kind of pushing each other around. Badosa goes up the line with her backhand. Gauff now attacks with her forehand. Backhand, again, switching it around. Gauff's moving around. Badosa's trying to move Gauff around as much as possible with her backhand. She's not really switched the forehand yet. Gauff forehand fails her, loops it into the tram line. 2 games all. Well saved from Badosa. Got herself out of a very sticky situation there. But this is a real battle going on court Manolo Santana at Madrid. So Gauff is serving next. Quickly in the ATP side, Daniel Medvedev beat Andy Murray's conqueror, Andrea Vavasori, in straight sets. Yananad Struff came from a set down to beat Ben Shelton, 4-6, 7-6, 7-5. Really close one. Shevchenko, Alexander Shevchenko, demolishing Hiri Lehechka, 6-1, 6-1. Interesting result there. Roman Safiulin knocking out Tommy Paul. Big name exit there. 6-3, 7-6. Aslan Karatsev beating Botic van der Zandschulp, the finalist in Munich, losing to the former Australian Open semi-finalist and had to be qualified to get into the tournament, 6-2, 7-5. Lajovic beating Ojanesi and Zapata Morales beating Dan Evans, we've already covered. And then currently live going on, Alex de Minaur is a setup against Marco Cecchinato, but the Italians make it a very close second set. De Minaur serving at 5-6. And Sebastian Baez is a set down to Marcos Giron, the American winning 6-3. And currently warming up Taylor Fritz against Chris O'Connell. Could be an interesting one. That's kind of a battle of the losing semi-finalists in Munich. And Thomas Etcheverry taking on Francis Tiafoe. And Andreeva has managed to consolidate her break and is leading 6-3 to love in her match. Gauff is now 30 love up in this game. So there you go. That's your rundown of everything going on. You are now up to date. Didn't realize John was such a big Tommy Paul fan. Oh, well. I'm not sure what interest Badosa has outside of tennis, but I agree the injuries are a major problem. She also has well-documented mental health issues, which will probably massively affect that. But as it currently stands, I would say Badosa's looking pretty motivated, especially judging by the performances she's been putting in over the last month or so. Which is why she is number 10 in my WTA power ranking, which I might share with you during the break. Big serve out wide from body serve from Coco Gauff. Tries to follow up with a +1 forehand and loops it over the baseline. It's now 30 all. That Gauff forehand really breaking down and continuing to let the young American down. And whenever anyone talks about Coco Gauff, first thing that comes up is the forehand not being good enough. Is it fair? I don't know. She hits a better forehand than I could. Probably most of us watching could. But in comparison to a lot of other pros, does need work. But she's 19. Backhand into the net from Gauff. She got a really short return from Badosa to pick off on the backhand, and she puts it into the net, and it's 30-40. This match has bonkers momentum swings. Bonkers momentum swings. Never actually read Open. Everyone says I should, but I've never got around to it. But I would agree, you do need to have a particular mindset. Gauff saves that break point with an unreturnable serve. It is now deuce on the American serve. We're coming up to a break. And I think what I might do during that break is hype up my fellow commentator, Myles David, who is due to join us at some point. But we'll see how that goes. See how everything goes. So, Gauff looks like it was let on that first serve. So she's got to start again, get into a new routine. Not ideal at all. Again, misses the first serve. Really, really tight moments here for Coco Gauff. Serves really short from Gauff. Back forehand into play. So again, really short. Badosa attacking a little bit more on the backhand. Gauff loops the forehand up to the Badosa backhand, who loops it high. Gauff again attacks the Badosa backhand with her forehand. Not really running on to hit the backhand, but still going to the Gauff forehand. Everything's kind of really loopy and not particularly short at the minute. Backhand from Gauff, really sharp angle. Then tries to drop shot, but it goes way too deep. Badosa tries the passing shot, and it's too good for Gauff to pick off at the net. And Gauff, couldn't really get much purchase on it. That backhand passing shot was way too good. And Badosa has another chance to break. Big moments, important moments in this match. So I'm just checking my equipment. Excellent. What's Badosa got here? Can she take advantage of the second breakpoint opportunity in this game? That first serve from Gauff goes long. It's all really tight right now for the American. Oh, and it's a double fault. It is a double fault, and Coco Gauff has been broken. Paula Badosa is now 3-2 up at the change of ends with a break, but she was a break up at the start of the match. Let's see how this goes. What a first set. And this is a great opportunity. I would completely agree. Worth checking out Myles's Tuned Into Tennis podcast. Very, very good quality piece of work. And you want to know a bit more about it? Then here's everything you need to know. Yeah, definitely have a look at that. Those of you who may have missed it, John actually did an interview with Coco Gauff not long ago. So I'm going to play that 1-minute interview for you.
You've been to the French Open final. Your breakthrough, at least standout result at the beginning of your career, was on grass against Venus. You've been very solid on the hard courts. Is there a slam in particular that you go, I think that's, if I'm going to get one, the first one might come here, there, or where?
Well, I don't know. I mean, everyone, I'm like, I think this is the first one. So I don't know. I mean, obviously now going to the French, I do have a lot of confidence on the surface. But I'm not really thinking about that. I feel like, in the past I was, and it gave me some like defeats that I feel like I shouldn't have lost, maybe more so my head. So going in now, I mean, I feel like, everyone could be the one, but I think I have to just take it a match at a time and just feel it out and enjoy it. I think when you focus too much on the destination, you don't enjoy the journey there. So now I want to focus more on the journey, and if the destination gets there, that's great.
Yeah, and wise words. I mean, we have to say it's amazing. We're expecting a 19-year-old to win a slam imminently. That's due to her the fact that she's had so much success at age 15. Interesting point from John here saying that obviously there was a plan, and it's as others have suggested, it was to hit to the forehand, which seems to be working. Badosa is now 15-love up in this game, by the way. I need to update the score. I'd be interested to know, Ghost, what do you think? If you think that the issue with Coco's forehand is overstated, and it does seem to break down. I don't know much about the technique side of things, but what I do know is it does seem to break down and doesn't seem to get a lot of free points off of it. But it is very useful on clay with that top spin that she can produce. But is her game actually fine? So her record against top 10 players suggests there's some stuff to work on, but I'm not an expert. Hey, Max, always good to have you. And what time is it over there for you? What time is it for you? Is it like 7:40? Well, you're tuning into a great match. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on. Real battle as this rally's showing. Badosa hits a backhand winner, but she had to move really far up the court, and she's firing herself up after hitting that backhand winner. And it's 30-15 to the Spaniard, as she is a break up. Apologies to those of you who are like, what are you talking about, Nick? It's 2-2. It's not. It's 3-2 to Badosa. The score updates are failing us right now. Probably mostly because it's just how it is. It's Ashley. Can't do that right now. I'm going in a rush. I don't think playing doubles is going to affect the forehand that much. Yeah, 7:40 a.m. Yeah, because I think I remember you saying you were on like the west coast of the States or nearish there. So it's about an 8-hour difference to the UK, which is where I am. It's 9-hour difference to Madrid, where they're playing. So it's currently 4:40 in the PM over there. It's 3:40 here for me. I've been chatting with you guys. I'm not actually watching the match, so I should probably get back to doing that. Could be fun. There you go. I'll re-highlight that for you, Max. Yeah, Ashley's just pleased to see me. So, it's nice that someone's pleased to see me. And it's nice that there's so many people being nice to us. Ghosty was like, it's nice to see that everyone here really enjoys being part of the community and chatting with us. And I kind of treat you as co-commentators as well. You're not just the viewers, you're the co-commentators. Max, you're obviously tuning in. Are you able to see what's going on in the Gauff Badosa match? Any thoughts? Ghost, same thing. Are you seeing what's happening, or are you relying on me to tell you what's happening? Badosa was just held serve. So we can now confirm that Badosa is the first person this match to consolidate a break. So Max, you just got here. Badosa broke in the opening game of the match. Gauff broke straight back. Then held, went to break up, got broken back. And then... no, hang on. No, she would have then held. Badosa managed to avoid getting broken, broke Gauff, and now she is up. And Gauff takes a backhand wide, which is not going to help her mood whatsoever, because the backhand is the strong side, and that's letting her down. Well, then there's a problem. Patrick Moratoglu is in the crowd. Okay, fine. If you're not able to watch, I'm gonna have to make sure I up my game and actually pay attention to what's going on. So why don't I do my job? Right, love 15. Gauff puts the second serve mid-box and then mishits the forehand, shanks it completely. It's nowhere near the court. It's love 30. This set's getting away from Gauff. I know what you mean, Max. Sometimes, like when I'm watching, I can't necessarily focus on every single point, depending on what else I've going on. I have to be really hyped for what's happening. But I'm really hyped for this match. So, but I understand, like, you want to, like, as fans, we want to know what's going on at every single point. But we'll give you the gist of it. Gauff's put the first serve into the net, by the way, at love 30, which is not good for us. Again, second serve is middle of the box, puts the backhand to the Badosa's backhand, tries to change it up, but change direction on the forehand. Gauff again, drop shotting on the forehand, and that's way too good. That is way too good from Coco Gauff, and it's 15-30. Well, that's going to make her feel a bit better. That was a beautiful drop shot. I'm doing well, thanks, Ashley. I'm doing well. Yeah, I've had a get back about an hour before the match started, prepping, getting ready. I'm excited to see what the day brings. And so far, this match is definitely living up to expectations. I think my life is based around this tennis match, basically, right now. Good rally going on here. Backhand up the line. Badosa changed direction on the forehand. Seems to be in control of this rally. Goes back towards Gauff, long on the forehand, and she's annoyed with herself because she set it up. She was in control of the rally, and Paula Badosa put the forehand over the baseline, and it's 30 all. That could have been 15-40. That's going to be interesting now. That's going to give what we hear. Jane, lurk as long as you want. Hopefully you are getting to follow this match some way. And it's nice to be here. I'm loving getting all the compliments. It's nice. I feel very welcome with you all. Backhand up the middle from Gauff. Forehand looped up from Badosa. Gauff loops her forehand. Badosa goes inside out. What a winner from Paula Badosa. Oh, she thinks it's a winner. Ball's been called out. Badosa's challenged it. I thought it was a winner. Ball is... Oh, no, it was out. It was actually quite a bit out. I just got overexcited. So, yeah, that instead of break point Badosa after that amazing forehand, attempted a forehand, it's now 40-30 to Gauff. That's going to please the American. No one, and that's an ace. That is an ace from the American to hold on. And we go into a change, and she's going to a change of ends. Still only one breakdown rather than two. That was a missed opportunity from Badosa to really take control of the set. And it'll be interesting to see how that affects her coming into this change of ends. It's all very interesting right now, isn't it? All very, very interesting. Right. I need to do a couple of things. So let's see what's going on. So I've been a double thing. You go the other way. Hingis, Stoza. Ash Barty. Ash Barty started off as a Ash Barty actually started off as a double specialist very early in her career, and then switched. Fair enough, Jane. Fair enough. Let's make sure you're doing your job properly. I think Carlos is still the favourite, Max. Holger's one of the backup favourites, as is Zverev. But I think, yeah, it's one of those three who's going to win it. Carlos, I think, has the edge over both of them. Yeah, although Panatta are also very good doubles player as well. Yeah, I don't. But yeah, I think yeah, Ash Barty is probably the prime example of someone who said, "Hey, pretty good at doubles first," and it was good to see her performing well on court. Right, let's have a look and see what's happening in the other WTA match. Andreeva is still a break-up job as secondary. Yeah, I mean, I'm not paid full-time by talking tennis, so I have to make my money from another job. But I wish my job could be secondary, or my job with this. Right, we're back off the change of ends. For those wanting updates on other matches going on, it's going with serve between Echeverry and Tiafoe, and between Fritz and O'Connell. Byers and Giron going with serve in the second set. De Minaur finished off Cecchinato 6-4, 7-6. So if you're an American fan, it's not looking too bad right now. Gauff's performance aside so far, and even then, Gauff's not been playing too bad. It's just been really challenging Badosa's been a real handful for her. And the Spaniard is now 15 love up at home. I think we're going to have to agree to disagree, Ghost. I don't think it's affecting things too much. I mean, Iga actually, Iga Swiatek managed to do Roland Garros doubles, almost did the double. Lots of mindless repetition. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. I've done those kind of jobs, Jane. I've done those kind of jobs. Serve out wide from Badosa. Gauff can't really get much purchase on it, and it's 30-15 to the Spaniard. Looking very confident right now. And going into this, I was like, Badosa should be favourite, but depends on how fit she is. There was some concern. She was on one leg at the end of her last match. Played doubles yesterday. Seemed fine. So, yeah, I think right now, Badosa is in a good place. Needs another ball though. I think she missed that first serve on a let. Yeah, pretty rough for you guys. Agassi was pretty good on clay. I mean, he had a few near misses with the French Open before he eventually won it in '99, but he was in a couple of finals. So you had 3 decent clay quarters, but yeah, I think for whatever reason, American tennis went in the sort of power game direction that just did not suit clay. Unfortunately, now you've got some more well-rounded guys like Fritz, Tiafoe, Paul, Shelton, Korda. Korda's very good on clay when he's fit. So that should give you some hope. I think hopefully those who have been inspired by Federer and Nadal and Djokovic will develop a generation. There's Badosa's shot comes off the top of the net and Gauff scrambling on the backhand. She's moving Gauff around, coming in. Gauff puts her backhand into the net. But it was a... Sorry, need a drink. 40-30 to Badosa. I think I've lost my train of thought there. Yeah, I was kind of upset by Layla losing too because she's one of my favourites. Definitely second favourite after Iga. Would be top favourite player right now up there. And but on the other hand, Mira Andreeva, what a story. And clearly Layla lost to someone who's in very, very good form because she's not actually lost a match yet this year, the 15-year-old, at any level. Max, if I could get you some chocolate chip cookies, I would. Might take a bit of time to get to you, though, from where I am. Badosa's held. Badosa has held, and she is 1 game away from taking the first set. Now, we had one commenter earlier predicting a 6-3, 6-4 victory for Badosa. So if Badosa gets this game, it's going to be at least half right. And she's already got the first point. Love 15. Yeah, this could be interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm excited to see how this one goes. John is on the ground in Madrid as well. He's watching this live from the press box. Oh, inside out final attempt from Gauff goes into the net, but to be honest, it was going to go out even if it went over the net. But John will probably come to us with his live thoughts at points during the match. I didn't see it. Sorry, Ghost, but I'm going to guess she just did Yelena Ostapenko and everything was going out rather than everything was going in. Especially against someone like Samsonov who plays very similarly. Yes, Brian, it's not 6-3 yet. It's not 6-3 yet. Yeah, I thought she'd do a little bit better, and I thought she'd be more comfortable than Samsonova, but oh well. Yeah, we have a man in Madrid. I know, it makes it sound like a spy service, but that's James. That's why we have James Steele on the team, and you would have seen him on the ATP show last week with Damien and Vanch. Love 40. Another error from Gauff. Breakpoint opportunities for Paula Badosa to win this first set 6-3 and make Brian a very happy man. Short serve from Gauff. Backhand and play from Badosa. Inside out forehand from Gauff. Kind of running, trying to hit to the Badosa backhand. Badosa going back towards the Gauff backhand side. Now changing direction. Gauff goes for the forehand. Limply into the net. It is 6-3 to Paula Badosa. And yeah, Brian called it. Spot on. The Spaniard leads. The question is she going to win this one in straight sets? 6-3, 6-4, as Brian originally predicted. So, I'm just going to update the score. Update that. Oops. Didn't want you to do that. There we go. That's your score for you. John will be very pleased to suggest you putting you forward. I mean, he is our international man. He's traveling all over the place. Be good covering a tennis tournament. Yeah. Elise did do that. I mean, she's a very good all-rounder. Very, very good all-rounder. Actually, Sabalenka's a Grand Slam doubles champion. She won the Australian Open a few years ago. Sorry, just bear with me. I want to get something up on here because I want to. Has Gauff left the court? If Gauff's left the court, I might switch matches for a bit and watch the Andreeva match, Andreeva-Linette, just to mix things up a bit. But obviously, I've advertised this as Gauff Badosa, so I don't want to spend too long going away. So maybe if someone could tell me when the players are back, so I can hop back over, that'd be great. But I think I want to keep an eye on sort of what Andreeva's doing. The impressive 15-year-old from Russia, who is playing the number 17 seed, the Pole Magda-Linette, who is the Australian Open semi-finalist this year. And let's have a look. So Andreeva is currently 4-3 up with a break, 15 love, and serves in short. Linette loops her backhand up, backhand again, kind of short. Linette's kind of got Andreeva on the run, comes in, tries to really push Andreeva back, goes for the passing shot. Andreeva then hits another forehand passing shot. The net, oh, that's too good. Well rescued at the net, and it's 15 all. Yeah, it's amazing the quality that this 15-year-old is producing. It's incredible. I mean, to take down a former Grand Slam finalist like that is incredible. Then to follow up with a top 20 player, and now to lead by a set and a break against another top 20 player, who, and again, getting the next point with a free point, 30-15. Yeah, that's impressive. Gauff and Badosa look like they're back on court. Badosa's 30-15 up as Andreeva misses that shot. So if they're back on court in the Badosa match, then it is my duty to return there, for that is what you are here for. Great serve again from Andreeva to hold to get to 40-30 though. Yeah, clearly Max enjoying the music being played on site. 30-15 to Badosa in this opening service game from the Spaniard in this second set. Yeah, I'd like to. I haven't really looked into this. I'd have to look into the data of it, but I don't really see that. I'm not aware of that being a phenomenon. Badosa 40-15. Again, really good serve. Setting herself up very, very well. Let's see what she can produce. Oh, great serve. Great serve again from Badosa. Oh, wait, no, that was a let. Never mind. But it looked cool. It looks cool. Badosa Badosa, okay. John did actually talk to Badosa as well, but that's a little bit of a longer interview, so harder to play between changes of ends. But I might do that for you guys at this point as Gauff loops a return up, sets it up for Badosa mid-court, who goes cross-court. Gauff just picks it up. There wasn't enough on it for Gauff to get past Gauff. And Gauff just getting everything back. Badosa throwing it home, and then that forehand goes long from the Spaniard, and it's 40-30. So Badosa getting a little frustrated by Gauff in that point. Could have finished it off. Yeah, I want Coco to get to her full potential as well. I think it'd be really exciting. And I think, I think it's always better to say, hey, that Grand Slam champion, Wimbledon debut, 15, fourth round. Not right now, but she is usually around Arina Sabalenka. Those two are really, really good friends. Inside out forehand winner from Paula Badosa. Great job. Yeah, I want to have a bit more current data than like 20 years ago, 25 years ago. Because the game has changed, and obviously sports science and everything else has changed as well. So I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I just don't want to make a statement without looking into it a little bit more, if that makes any sense. We've got the stats up from Gauff Badosa on my screen. 22 unforced errors from Coco Gauff. That's not going to help her at all. Points, not many points behind a serve. She's not played badly. Like, she broke Badosa. She's made it very competitive. It's just unfortunate, really. So Badosa's held on the opening game. But let's see what happens. Gauff goes up the line with a forehand, but Badosa gets to it with her backhand, pushes Gauff back a bit with that shot. Then they're going forehand to forehand. Gauff tries to change direction. Badosa scrums the backhand. It somehow lands in, but Gauff hits a backhand winner, and it's 15-love. That's a positive point from the American. That's going to really, really build her confidence. Yeah, lovely rally. Really enjoyed that one. It's interesting here that the ball, there's not a lot of there's a lot of loop on both their shots. Not masses of depth, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it just makes it a bit hard to sort of hit. They're still having trouble hitting through. Sorry, not allowed to show the match because we don't have the rights to it. Because if we did, we'd get taken down and banned. So I'd rather stay within the law. And if one day we do get enough funds to show the match, we enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, let's face it, Venus and Serena are two of the greatest tennis players ever. And I think it's a very different... I think what they did is just special, and they were a class above pretty much anyone else in their generation and since. Oh dear, things are falling apart a bit for Gauff as it's now 15-30. She really doesn't want to give Badosa too much momentum here because that's just going to really mess her around. Bear with me because I'm just multitasking a little bit here. What's Gauff got? Out wide on the first serve. Badosa gets it back into play, looping up on the backhand. Gauff forehand. Gauff's using the forehand a lot. Tries to go inside out on the forehand and misses it. Venus is still playing, and it's great that she's still playing. I don't see her as a contender anymore, though. Her body won't let her play more than a couple of matches. But let's hope that she stays with us for a while. So I'm loving the energy from everyone. It's so positive. Right, break. Not so positive is Gauff's energy on the court. She's at 15-40 down, misses the first serve. That's not gonna help her at all. So yeah, not gonna help her confidence at all. As Andreeva has match point on the left serve, and So kind of two things happening at once here. We've got Gauff break point down, Andreeva match point on the net serve, goes back and forth, big forehand. They kind of long rally here on the smaller court. Also, Gauff puts the forehand into the net, so she's broken already in the second set. So I'm commentating on 2 points at the same time here. Lynette and Andreeva still going, still rallying pretty strongly. And Lynette goes wide at the forehand. And Mirva Andreeva, 15 years old, has just made the last 16 in the Madrid Open, which is insane. Last 15-year-old, second WTA level tournament, last 16, beats a former Grand Slam finalist and 2 top 20 players. And that last match point, she was super resilient in the rally and just kept on working it. And like the net was moving her around, putting her at disadvantage on the court, and Andreeva just kept on hitting it back and double broke a Grand Slam semi-finalist. The player who beat Ons Jabeur in round 1 at the French Open last year. Yeah, this is like it's fitting we're watching Coco Gauff because we remember her run at Wimbledon at 15 and like nearly 4 years ago now when she beat Venus Williams. She beat the Rybarikova, the former semi-finalist at the event, and then Polona Hutzok in that really tight match before eventually losing to Halep, who went on to win the title. Max is also saying reminds her of Vajasova. Yep, Vajasova, one of Miles's favorite players actually. And he, but yeah, I'm Gauff is more in my memory. I thought the days of teenage winners were kind of done in the women's game. I didn't think we would see like top players at 15, 16 again. But Gauff, Brenda Kvitova, Linda Kvitova, and Andreeva seem to be proving me wrong. We keep on talking about big threes. Here's what I've kind of come to realize. Those who are kind of like locked in at the top, whether it's a big 3 or a big 4, big 5, they're always from different generations. You never have a big 3 or a big 4 of the same generation at the same time. And like solely that generation locking out the top. So yeah, they may be the best players of this up and coming generation of tennis players as Gauff puts a forehand limply into the net and it's 40-15 to Badosa. I would say that, and this is to anyone who's talking about big 3s or big 4s, they're not. It's not about one generation. It's not about one generation. It's about how generations intersect. Anyway, we're going to need to go back to the Badosa match, but I'm hyping Andreeva now. This is super impressive as Badosa puts a backhand into the net. It's 40-30. So another game point for Paula Badosa. But double faults. Is that double fault? No. First one was a let. We're fine. Goes up wide. Backhand from Gauff. Backhand from Badosa. Forehand from Gauff up the line. Lynette goes up the line with her forehand. Backhand from Badosa. Gauff's trying to dictate with her forehand, looping it up. They're both kind of keeping it going. Gauff again puts some loop on it. Badosa's struggling with the loop on the backhand, but she's still getting it back in play. Gauff again going for a really tight angle inside out. Comes off the top of the net on her backhand. Cross court forehand from Badosa. Now switching cross court forehands, which is Badosa's bread and butter. Oh, that was a really, really tough get from Gauff, who then. Oh my word, this is ridiculous. Gauff goes in for the overhead. Badosa gets that back and almost passes Gauff, but Gauff picks it up. Not enough though. Badosa seals that game. What was that rally? I'm sorry if that made no sense, but that was became increasingly hard to follow. That was great tennis from both. The crowd absolutely loving it. Badosa winding them up. She leads by a set and 3-love at this change of ends. You're always welcome here, Max. Always welcome. We're all friends here. So, oh yeah, look, they're replaying that rally. Like Gauff almost Gauff almost won that point. Badosa looked like she was taking it back. Then Gauff took control, and then Badosa scrambled herself into a great position. And that passing shot at the end on the backhand, brilliant, absolutely brilliant tennis. Highly recommend you check out the match highlights on YouTube because that rally's going to be there. That rally's going to be there. Just straight up. Here we go. Insight from John on the ground. Agreed. Yeah. The Gauff forehand is breaking down. And she's definitely not doing enough with the forehand to finish it off, but maybe she doesn't have enough on it. And as I said, like neither of them seem able to completely hit the other one off the court. So, yeah, that will be that's going to be interesting. So Gauff's coming out. She's already a breakdown in this set. Brian predicted a 6-3, 6-4 win for Badosa. So basically, for him to be spot on, Gauff needs to make sure she wins 4 more games. Actually, wins 4 games in this match. So maybe expect just them to hold serve, but that's not a good start. As that first serve from Coco Gauff is way too long, and then double faults. Seen it done. Seen Ostapenko do it. You have to have an incredible amount of power, but yeah, I've seen Ostapenko do it. Pretty sure Serena's done it. Iga can do it. Anyway, forehand inside out from Badosa. Back to the backhand of Gauff. Badosa's moving Gauff around the court now. Goes up the line with a forehand winner. It's love 30. I mean, John, feel free to come back on this question, but I feel like the crowd's supporting Badosa. Home favourite, and they're definitely going to be supporting her after that forehand winner that she just hit. So that's an interesting one. Here we go. Gauff goes out wide with the serve. Back forehand into play from Badosa. Gauff puts a forehand into the net. Gauff puts a forehand into the net, and it's love 40. And it's really not going the Americans' way right now. Really isn't. Worrying signs for Coco Gauff. She may be dropping down my WTA power ranking after this Madrid Open. We will have to see how that goes. First serve long from Coco Gauff. From Coco Gauff as second serve bounces up, kicks up, and Gauff's in control of this rally. Goes back behind Badosa on the forehand. Badosa still manages to get to it and loop it up. Gauff has the overhead, but goes to the Badosa backhand, who hits the passing shot. What a narrow miss. Badosa puts her hand on her head. She can't believe it, but that passing shot was this close to being absolute genius. But it was quite a bit out, but it was the right shot to go for, and it would have been so cool if it worked, but Gauff handled that situation well, and forced Badosa to go for a go-for-broke shot, 15-40. First serve in play, Badosa gets it back short, Gauff attacking on the forehand, Badosa again gets it back short, Gauff attacking again on the forehand, Badosa gets it back, Gauff narrowly avoids putting off the, oh, what a backhand for Badosa, and then scrambles to hit the forehand over the net, like she's getting everything back that Gauff's throwing at her, backhand back towards Gauff's backhand, he goes up the line, cross court from Badosa goes off the top of the net, Gauff goes inside out, into the tram line, game, Badosa. And that's kind of summarizing the match, is that like Badosa is just getting everything back that the Gauff is throwing at her. and then coming up with something even brilliant, and then something absolutely brilliant that's forcing Gauff to make an error or causing Gauff to panic and make an unforced error. So there you go. Double break for Paula Badosa, who is now serving to consolidate a double break lead. And we'll come to you guys in a second. Double fault. First serve was a let, and then right in the middle of the net from Badosa, who is the 26th seed, home favourite. Backhand over the net from Badosa. Backhand from Gauff, wide. 15-love to Badosa. Max, I just want to say, I'm seeing your comments. I'm not going to put it on the screen, but I just want to say, it sounds like that high school is not that far away from. You're not long out of it. And I'm sorry that your friends are treating you badly. We'll try and treat you well here. But if it's any consolation, I don't have any friends from my high school days either, and. But I've still got plenty of other people that I've met in the years since. So I'm probably a little bit old, probably not that much older than you, but guarantee to you, your best friends often are made after high school, not during. About 50-50, depends on the life you lead. But that's enough but that's all the life advice going out from me on a public stream. 30-15. Badosa loops the forehand into play. Backhand cross court again, kind of mid court. Gauff goes for the bigger backhand, trying to move Badosa around with the forehand. Badosa gets to it, puts the forehand cross court on the run. Yeah, she's not doing much wrong at the minute. That was a fantastic winner. On the run from Paula Badosa, Yeah. 40-15. 40-15. 4-love. Big serve up the middle. Gauff loops it up, but it gets back into play. Big forehand from Gauff. Going up. Badosa goes up the line. Gauff tries to change direction on the backhand. Takes it wide. And there you go. It is 5-love to Paula Badosa leads by a set and 5-love. Well, I didn't expect things to go quite heavily in Badosa's favour, but it's still pretty good. Don't worry about it, Max. But what I would say is that never miss an opportunity to make someone feel good about themselves. Hopefully you're enjoying the commentary. Being American, you're probably a little bit disappointed that Gauff is losing. But I think most people like Paula Badosa anyway. And obviously we're building up towards the big ATP clash of the night. I say big clash. It would have been a big clash a couple of years ago, as it's the battle of the former Roland Garros finalists. Dominic Thiem against Stefanos Tsitsipas, taking place tonight. 7 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. Madrid time. So would probably be 11 a.m. Your time, Max. 2 o'clock your time, Ghost. Coco not in the mood to join in. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be either. Me too, Max. I thought this would be a bit more competitive, but clearly Badosa is clearly wanting to, particularly clear in good form, which we thought she was building to something, or at least I did. Are you a Paula Badosa fan, Max? First serve not effective from Gauff. Doesn't do anything with it. Has to Get ready for a second. They've been playing for an hour and 8 minutes. Ball is short. Badosa attacks. Forehand from Gauff. Backhand from Badosa. They're all kind of hitting around bouncing around the service line at the minute. Backhand up the line for Badosa. Out. Into the tram line. It didn't miss by much. But Badosa's still going to be annoyed with herself. Is still annoyed with herself there. Kind of really going for fine margins there to try and give herself an advantage on it. But 15 love for Gauff. That's the best start to a service game she's had for a while. Can Gauff get on the board and avoid the bagel? I'm not planning on commentating on Dominic versus Stefanos. I don't know if we've got a plan for that, but if anyone from the Talking Tennis team puts their hand up for it, then great. I probably won't be, or at least I need a break between to do it. But yeah, should be good fun. Double fault from Coco Gauff after being so. After all that, what's happening next? First serve into the net. It's really not going the Americans' way right now. Goes out wide. Badosa gets her forehand into play. Backhand drops into the middle from Gauff. Backhand again. They're going backhand to backhand, but Badosa loops it up, and it's 15-30 because Gauff's backhand was long. And Badosa's 2 points away from the match. This is going to go down very well in Spain, I would expect. Very, very well. I will answer Matthew. Seeing your question, I'll come to you in a minute. As Gauff goes up the middle, tries to go inside out on the forehand. Badosa backhand, but Gauff inside out on the forehand. Badosa at the backhand. Gauff up the line. Tries to go up the line with a forehand to change direction. Puts it long. 15-40. 2 match points for Paula Badosa. That's fair enough. Let's see how she does when she runs into someone a bit stronger. I'd have to look at the draw and see how it's all going to play out. Maybe we'll do that in a minute. Maybe I want to give... There's a lot of things I want to update on. As Gauff puts her forehand into the net. And then attacks on second serve. Tries to go, loops up the forehand, and it's long. Paula Badosa wins. John found that uncomfortable to watch. Interested to know why. But yeah, Badosa wins. 6-3, 6-love. As that kind of ran away from Coco Gauff a little bit. Has to be said. Kind of ran away from Coco Gauff. What is that? Here we go. Excuse me. Right, lots of different things. I'm going to be live for a little bit. Yeah. So don't worry, I'm going to be live for a few minutes because there's still a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got this match. We've got questions coming in from the chat. So, Matthew, you asked, Gauff looking poor or Badosa looking like a serious contender? I think it's more Badosa being a serious contender. She played really, really well. She was diffusing everything Gauff threw at her. Gauff wasn't really able to do much with her forehand. She was using it a lot today, but wasn't doing enough with it, and Badosa was just able to scramble everything back and put her under pressure, and that pressure eventually told on Gauff. So I'm going to say Gauff maybe not amazing today, but I don't think it's definitely not the worst I've ever seen her play. And Badosa, I think it was more Badosa was fantastic, to be honest. But I prefer to be kind of more positive in my outlooks on matches. But that's how I see it. Are playing doubles? I need to look that up. See if they are. Coco Gauff. Women's doubles. She is. They played. They are the top seeds, and they are through to the last 16. So, Gauff still very much in the doubles. Can still get a chance to get her number 1 ranking back in that discipline. So yeah. I'll have to have a look. Madrid Open 2023. Here we go. Got that there. Fantastic. Okay, I'm just gonna have a look and see what's happening here. Oops, that's not what I intended, but never mind. Yeah. So Gauff and Pegula, they haven't played their second round match yet, which is a last 16. They're either going to play Julia Olmos and Panova, or Flipkins and Rozalska. So they should win that match, and then they may find themselves in a bit of a battle. Interestingly, Andreeva, Mira Andreeva, who I was making a fuss about, is also in the doubles with her sister, Erika Andreeva, who is 18, currently career high ranking of 487. But they're playing Dabrowski and Stefani. That's just an interesting point there. Okay, so Paula Badosa is through into the 4th round. We'll join Samsonova there, Begu, Mertens, Andreeva, and Sabalenka. Oh my word! Okay, I think Andreeva's run's going to come to an end because she's got Arina Sabalenka, and I think, as impressive as the 15-year-old is, I don't see her beating the current world number 2 Australian Open champion and former Madrid champion from 2021. Paula Badosa is into the 4th round, and she will play either fellow Spaniard Rebecca Masarova, who is a wild card. She's got through, and her path, she's beaten Kristina Buxa and Donna Vekic, which is a good win for her, or Maria Sakkari. So he's either going to be an all-Spanish 4th round, Badosa Masarova, or Badosa versus Sakkari, which on a clay court could be very, very exciting. But that match is coming up later today. In terms of what is happening, how many sister pros are there? Sister pros. So there's a few, obviously. The Fravitova sisters, obviously currently Andreeva sisters, the Pliskova sisters. That's the top of my head. That's obviously Badosa and Sakkari, but that involves Sakkari beating Masarova. So let's just not get too far ahead of ourselves before we get too excited about that. Ashley's asking, it was a bad day. John saying Coco's not playing great. I mean, I agree she wasn't very effective. I'm still more impressed with Badosa than disappointed in Gauff. Coco will survive in the doubles to win Madrid. That would be cool. To be honest, I think the reason why those 3 players aren't afraid of Gauff is because Rebecca and Sabalenka can hit her off the court, and Iga can kind of exploit kind of a lot of technical weaknesses and play some really tough battles. So I think there was a conversation. I saw a comment earlier from Ghost asking, is Iga a power player and like hitting people off the court? She doesn't hit people off the court with a power. It's the top spin and the intensity of the shots and the depth of them. I think actually Iga's got a lot more power than people give her credit for, but it's not the basis of her game. Similar to Rafael Nadal. Nadal is not a power player. Like, that's not what his game's founded on. He hits a ball pretty darn hard. But it's the spin and the velocity of what's coming at you. And I think it's the similar experience playing Iga Świątek for the women. So what we've got going on right now, what's happening around the grounds? Sebastian Baez has taken Marcos Giron to a third set. There's a break up in that third set. Taylor Fritz is into a very close tiebreak with Chris O'Connell. We may go to that in a second. Tiafoe is a setup against Echeverry, but Echeverry is a breakup in the second. It's 3 games all between Christian Garin and Miomir Kecmanovic, and Francisco Cerundolo and Pedro Cachin are underway. Matches coming up later. Will be at Wantanuke against Nori, Shapovalov versus Zhang, and Team versus Tsitsipas, which I've seen some chat about there. And then at 5:15, we've got Garcia versus Sharif, and then Masarova versus Sakari. So those are the other matches that are happening today. What's happening in Fritz O'Connell? It's 10 points all in that tie break. I'm going to go watch that. Whilst I'm with you guys, of course, I'm not like literally leaving. But that's an interesting one there. Only the big 3 power players. No, none of them were. Federer, very kind of like aggressive, high speed game, up high tempo, just rushing opponents. Nadal, high intensity baseline, and Novak Djokovic, the wall. But they could also hit winners when teed up in the right position, and definitely able to do that. So not the most powerful on tour, but enough to make their games work. As O'Connell is frustrated that he couldn't get the return into play, and it's 11-10 to Fritz, and it's a set point for the American. I've no idea how the set points have been going so far. It has to be said, but that's an interesting one. So, okay, this is Fritz's second set point, which suggests that O'Connell's had far more opportunities to win this first set, which is probably going to be frustrating the Australian. So O'Connell serving at 10-11, and the tiebreak goes out wide. Fritz scoops it up, but the ball in the tram line. It was O'Connell's serve was on the line. Really strong serve. He saves set point, and it's 11 all. And you can cut the tension in the stadium with a knife. This is incredible. Another epic tiebreak. Why is it that whenever I come on, there's an epic tiebreak? At some point, I think the last time I commentated was it involved an epic tiebreak of some kind. Big serve from O'Connell. Fritz gets that one back into play. Goes for the +1. O'Connell goes for the +1 forehand. Fritz dips that one up. Oh, O'Connell really messes up that overhead. It was teed up for him nicely. His contact point was up in the air. And Fritz has set point on his serve at 12-11. At 12-11. So that tells you something. Okay, so coming up to 4:30 at the minute. So Fritz serves with his 8th set point. Okay, maybe I misread the score earlier. Maybe it was 7 and not 2. I'm really far away from my screen. Second serve for Taylor Fritz to try and take this opening set in what's been absolutely bonkers. Misses that one though. Still waiting to see what happens. Okay. Out wide on the second serve. O'Connell gets his one-handed backhand into play. Forehand, massively aggressive in Taylor Fritz. Puts O'Connell on the defense and then finishes it with an inside-out winner. Taylor Fritz takes that opening set tie break. 13 points to 11. And the crowd absolutely love it. Gonna answer your question, Max. Never had Spanish food. At least I don't think I have. Not that I remember anyway. Maybe I've had something that's technically Spanish and it's just not realized, but I'm not an adventurous man. I've never even been to Spain, to be honest. And olive. Can't stand olives. Way too salty. So that's my food tastes laid bare. I am your very standard... my diet is very much your standard English cuisine. Or Italian, because the English have adopted a lot of Italian food, let's be honest. All right. Okay, so there you go. I think you're all up to date on Talking Tennis. This has been a lot of fun, I think. I'm glad I could bring you that dramatic tie break. I don't think there's not Thanks for the update, Ghost, on buyers. Ashley, this is baby steps, okay? I think we've had a lot of fun today. Maybe not if you're Coco Gauff. Definitely if you're Spanish or Paula Badosa. So keep an eye on the channel for more streams. We'll see if we'll get any more kind of commentaries coming up for you. But until then, keep tuned in. We've got ATP Weekly tonight with Damien in the driving seat. I think that's going to be a really fun conversation as we update from Madrid. It's likely that, and then obviously, okay, so 11 p.m. UK time, midnight Central European time. So that's going to be after today's plays done, which your times probably, Max, that's going to be 3 p.m. your time, probably about 7 p.m. your time, Ghosty. Still yet to confirm when WTA Weekly will come out, but there is going to be one this weekend, either on Sunday or Monday. It's a public holiday on Monday in the UK, so I will be around. You'll probably see me in the commentary booth at some point, and myself and Vanch will be going through the big stories from Madrid so far in the WTA, of which the biggest is probably Mira Andreeva. You've all been lovely. Loving spending time with you today to watch what was an intriguing match between Badosa and Gauff. But until then, I just want to say thank you so much for joining us. Keep an eye on the channel. John will probably be interviewing various people at Madrid, maybe including Badosa. But until then, we'll play you out. Take care.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.